All hail the mighty kings of the diamond arriving. The lines of worshippers wrapping around the siding. Running over the second baseman, no time for sliding. The empire strikes back, the battle's been decided. A murderous row of giants, a herd of grown Goliaths. The curve is prone to flying, not even worth a slider. A power pack lineup with punch at all costs. Swishing stadium seats with bombs, all hope is lost. Look at this grin while you crying in the field. We're laughing at your fans, putting a two-seam in your grill.
Hey guys, welcome to the lab. We're back with some more exclusive content. Another episode of Sundaze with the Clink Room. Today we're joined by Zach, also known as Soundwave Threads. Zach, how you doing?
I'm great, man. It's an honor, man, being on your show. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, no, pleasure's mine. Been kind of following you around for a little while. You're kind of new to the scene, so perfect energy. You said yes right away when I asked, so I'm really happy to have you. For people who don't know you or your background, can you tell us a little bit about the origins of Soundwave Threads and kind of how you got started with your own brand?
Yeah, so it was sparked by buying my first fitted hat last year. I think it was May or was it April when Rangers released their City Connect?
That sounds about right.
April 21st. I think it's on the side patch. So I got that.
Yeah,
for the first time. It was my first fitted hat, and that really sparked the idea of me wanting to start like my own like shirt company or something like that, and eventually do some kind of hat. So fast forward to the end of the year, I was kind of slowing down, and I was like, in January of this year, I was gonna really hit social media and try to gain a following, and that's really when I came across Clink. I think I came across them in December actually. And it was more of like, oh, that's really cool what they're doing and researching their history. And then I think March 2nd is when I downloaded Adobe Illustrator because I think Pro Image Colorado was running their Hat God 6 competition. So I was like, I want to do some mock-ups. So I downloaded that, did a few mock-ups, and this is Charlie. She wants to sneak in there. Yeah, so March of this year is when I really started getting into like designing hats, and I really found my passion for it, I think. So I've never really done something like this where I was like, it's all I could think about,
Yeah.
From the time I woke up and going to sleep and just laying there, just thinking of designs and that in general. And the Clink community is just something else. It's really awesome. It's just like a big family. So that's one of the things I really appreciate about it. And that's basically the rundown of how Soundwave started, and then how kind of where I am. So,
okay, cool. So, so you mentioned your first hat being last year. Were you wearing hats like as a kid before, or were you drawn to it from sports or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been into sports, and I've always liked hats, but I always just got snapbacks and the flex fits.
Right.
And yeah, I was browsing the City Connect stuff from the Rangers, and I was like, oh, fitted, why not? So I got my wife's like little Taylor measuring tape, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm like a 7 3/8 or something. So just ordered it, and right when I put it on, dude, something just changed inside of me. It was pretty awesome, man. So
yeah,
and it's just gone downhill from there.
I think that's the that kind of collector high that we're all chasing, right? There's nothing kind of like that fresh feeling of a new hat or putting something on that just fits you right. So that's cool. So you mentioned the Rangers. Any other teams you kind of follow and collect?
Yeah, I mean, any Dallas team. I'm Rangers. I have Mavericks hats. I have Texas Stars fitted because they don't make Dallas yet. Now that they got the 47 and New Era thing. Like the AAA teams up there, like the Rough Riders, what else?
Yep.
Round Rock Express, and we're actually in Seattle now, so I buy some Mariners hats, and the Aqua Sox. We're about 15 minutes from the stadium up here, the Aqua Sox Stadium. So that's primarily it. Everett, yeah, my daughter is saying it's in Everett, so we're near Everett, Washington. So yeah, I still enjoy looking for those, like the sports logos and stuff, like the MLB and minor league teams. But it's really, I'm primarily focused on Clink now. It's just it's just a huge passion, is creating my own designs, and the stuff that these artists are coming up with are so unique and creative. So
yeah. It's cool to see the connection too, like Everett and Round Rock and some of those teams that you mentioned are, I believe, they're Brandio's clients too. So Casey and his team over there had a hand in designing and rebranding a lot of those different teams and stuff.
oh,
So
I didn't know that.
cool. Yeah, I think they've worked on 600 teams.
Jeez,
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I knew it was a lot, but 600 is crazy.
Yeah, pretty crazy. So, yeah. All right. So, in terms of your collaboration, so we're gonna cover it more towards the happenings, because it's actually a good timing. It's coming for the last call. The pre-orders
Okay.
ending, so we get to send
Yeah.
those into production, which will be the hard part. Kind of the waiting portion of it. So
Yeah.
that's gonna
Yeah,
be
it
the
doesn't matter to me. I'm just happy one got through. So
yeah. Can you talk a little bit about how that came about, and kind of share the story behind that your first project with them?
yeah, Setsubun. Yeah, Mr. Taylor, Mr. Dome Pieces. He's just a great guy, man. So
Yes.
I forgot how it started. I either suggested we do a collab or something like that. I think my original idea was doing, because he's a greensman for film, so he
Yep.
sets up all the trees and stuff. So I was like, we could do like some goofy guy with some like cutters and like a crazy face, and the director's
Yeah.
behind him just doing like, "What are you doing?" But I was like, what are your ideas? Like, what do you want to see on a hat? And he came up with like an Oni mask.
Mhm.
So I drew a couple sketches. It was kind of similar to how it ended up. But he was like, let's change the waves, because I originally had some waves coming like over the mask a little bit, and he sent me some pictures of like the I guess kind of like old like waves, like they are now.
Yeah, like traditional.
Yeah, so
Japanese.
it came.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he instantly came up with the colorway, and it was pretty smooth. And yeah, we submitted it and did well in crits. Yeah, it was a fun one. And we actually have one that's sitting right now, but we're just waiting to see if the material is actually available. So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Cool. So Clink is kind of known for like its unique and creative designs. Like, how do you approach
Yeah.
blending your style with like that vision of making something kind of unique?
Yeah, I'm still learning, So my process is really just try to come up with a unique concept that is able to fit onto a hat design. That I think that's why I like it so much, is it's like a puzzle, right? How are you gonna get the most out of your design on such a small,
Mhm.
like, square footage or inch footage, whatever that is.
Yeah, canvas.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I kind of gravitate towards baseball designs, although I can't remember the last time I did one. But just coming up with unique characters and stuff like that, and I'll just sit on some sketches for a while, and I'll move to the next one until one actually like gets my attention again, and I'll put focus on that.
Right.
So yeah, I'm still trying to find my. I guess I don't really want a legit process, because that might hinder me in the future. But
Yeah.
I just want something fluid, to where if it's my ideas inside, how do I
Mhm.
get it onto the paper and onto a hat?
Right. So yeah, you mentioned sketch and paper. So you're a pen to paper guy first, and then you go to digital, or
Yeah, it depends. If I'm out and about, I'll have my sketchbook, but it's primarily on Procreate.
okay.
I'll do a sketch. The reason I like that is you can do different layers, obviously, and if you have like, say, the hands in your design and you want it bigger, you can just enlarge it or move it around. It's pretty helpful.
Mhm.
So I'll do that. Sometimes I'll just do the basic sketch and then throw it into Illustrator on desktop and just do the lines and coloring. Sometimes I'll do like the legit lines all in Procreate and just upload it to Illustrator and finish it off.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's primarily how I do all my designs, is that process: Procreate, Sketch, Illustrator to finish off. So
Yeah. What are some of the things you do to stay motivated? Because like right now, I'm looking at the field, and I don't think Clink's ever been stronger in terms of submissions, skill of artists, breadth of design, and then now it's like there's so many like themes and ideas that have been done. So it's like you always got to be wary of like, am I stepping on anyone's toes? Am I doing something that's been done? So like, what are some of those things that you do to kind of keep yourself motivated? You've made it once, but then like to do it again that's the struggle, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many ideas that have been done, right? And like, it's okay to do something similar, right?
Yeah.
Like I've done something, I forgot who it was. I did a design and I started looking up what's been made in Clink, and it was something similar. So I contacted the guy and he was like, nah, I think it was I forgot his name. Ariel, what's the French artist? I don't want to say it wrong.
Aurelian.
Yeah, Aurelian. He did the Shark God with Heinz. And then I think Creature and I did the Shark Chimie design. It was like I had just done the sketch and then he submitted it that day. So I sent him a message. I was like, is this too similar to what you're doing? And he was like, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
So, my process is just try to think of things so outlandish, right?
Right.
Come here. My daughter wants to be Belle. Sorry.
It's okay. It's cool.
All right, let's go.
Daddy time never comes off the clock, right?
No, it's 24/7.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's cool.
Yeah, my designs come from everywhere. Listening to a song, walking down the street, laying down. So if something comes to mind, I'll sketch around and I'll do some research now. I think when I first started, I wasn't really good at that, so I kind of might have stepped on toes because I think I did a red-winged blackbird one time, and this was like right when I started. So it's one of the best designs, right? And I should have known that, but yeah. So I'm trying to do a better job at researching. And if it's something's kind of similar, I'll definitely shoot a message to the artist or whoever did it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's going to become a tough thing moving forward. Like to me, like certain like animals or whatever, I think those are free reign because like that wasn't invented. But like a certain type of theme or style just to be done in another way, like that's going to require a little bit more gloves on approach. So it's tough though because like now we have over 1,000 designs probably in the system and made, but then there's exponentially more when you just include like stuff that hit crits or stuff that didn't make crits or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I mean that stuff's hard to keep track of because it could be like some artist from 2 years ago did a submission, didn't make crits, and it's like the exact same thing, but you had no idea.
Yeah.
And if that happens, it's just between the artists to figure it out, right? So I just try my best to come up with unique things, and if it's similar to something else, then it is what it is. Just keep moving on and keep trying,
Yeah. In terms of like where you get your inspiration, are there any particular like artists or movements or kind of trends that kind of influence you?
There's nothing specific, I just try to keep an open mind, just have that constant window open of just things coming in, like I said earlier, like listening to music. I'm really big to music. So, just mowing the lawn, jamming to something and something hits my mind as a design, just roll with it. There's nothing really specific I look at for like an inspiration source, if that makes sense. It's kind of just all over the place.
Right. So you had one that I believe was a rework, the Clinkos, the one with the cereal. What was that? Did you have multiple versions of that, or was it just the one?
I had the one. Well, the first one was just the 2 Kongs and 2 O's.
Right.
Okay. And then somebody mentioned, I think it was Laughing. He suggested maybe the old school Clink logo and then the Kong. So that was version 2. I was pretty upset. That was like the worst. I think that's the design that did the worst in Crits for me. And I was like, that's going to be automatically through maybe. So it hurt a little bit. Maybe they'll put the version 1 onto Crits one day. I don't know.
Yeah, that one's one of my favorites that you've done. And I thought that was a shoo-in to get in.
Thanks, man. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. So that one, I think the way you have it kind of with the composition, It would make for a crazy good side patch, and then you just do one really isolated one or one really detailed one. I think that one would knock out. So that's my official pitch to Casey to give that one another shot. Maybe Cereal Week starts. Maybe that starts a trend. I don't know, but I think that one's kind of cool. Do you have any favorites in terms of clinkers out there? Do you have any specific ones that you look to kind of like, wow, man, that guy or girl is good?
Yeah. I really enjoy all the clinkers. You know, they all bring a certain angle to the clink world. I do really like Jake, you know, the way he draws. Phil Hauser. Yeah. Phil, the way he draws his characters is awesome. Ephra, 40 Swords. It's hard to pick one, you know.
Monsters.
Yeah, Monsters. They're all great, and like the newer people, right? Like I've done some collabs with CJ Smile, right? And he's starting to do his own submissions, and I really, you know, because I'm, you know, fresh out of the gate too, just starting in March, so it's cool to see like new people come in as well, like just behind me, you know. So really good to support them. So I try to support everybody. It's just such a great family, man. The Clink family.
Yeah. In terms of like the world of fashion, so you've, you know, dabbled in hats and kind of clothing. Are there any brands out there that you kind of look to draw inspiration from, or that kind of influence your style?
I don't think I really draw inspiration from other brands. I mean, I primarily wear like Vans and Jordans as shoes, and try to go. It's pretty basic as far as that. I don't really focus too much on other brands, but
yeah, that's cool. All right. Well, appreciate you doing that. Now let's kind of get into what happened at Clink Room this week. So I'm gonna pull up their Fresh Colorway, which is good timing that I think, now that the Olympics is completely on TV.
Yup.
I think Canada just won the 4x100 men. So go Canada, but for now we're saying go USA. These just dropped on Monday.
These are sick.
For VIPs, and then Tuesday for general population. So go USA was the theme. Is this too American for you? Question number one. And number two, what do you think of this drop?
It's not too American. I think I commented on the post that I'm not like super outwardly patriotic, although I am inwardly. I really love the patch. It's really cool how it's, you know, backwards like military
style.
Yeah. I think the colorway is great. It's a gray UV, right?
I believe so. Let me check while you talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. I've been trying to find a good patriotic hat.
Great.
Kind of wish it was released. Maybe it was like a shipment thing, but released a little before the Olympics started. But it's still good to celebrate how the USA has done in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And all the designs are really great too.
Yeah. I think the thing with planning with New Era sometimes is New Era is a great partner and great manufacturer, obviously, but sometimes the production issues get skewed. Like I have one right now that if we just order it regular and go by the ETA, it would be here in time for Halloween. But we were just like, screw it, just pay the extra, get it air freighted in, and we'll just have a month to play with it.
Yeah,
like it's just not worth like saving a couple bucks and whatever. But you have to pay per unit, so it adds up. Yeah, so
oh boy,
yeah. So logistics and production, always fun things to talk about. But in terms of these three, do you have one that kind of stands out to you?
I like hip hop. Go USA. I've never seen the original one, but I heard a lot of people commenting about keeping the chain gold. That would have been tight. But I know you're playing with the color scheme, so I get both directions. But and America's pretty badass. Yeah, no, it's a really cheeky design. I like that, and the frame's really cool. I can't tell what it exactly looks like, but it looks good from here.
Yeah, yeah. Those are like the president like kind of portraits from like the money, I think. So they have the filigree around it
Yeah,
and stuff
gotcha.
like that. But yeah, I do like your idea of having some gold on the chain.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool for the origins of hip hop. That's the only one I picked up from this pack. So
Okay.
Ghost Army, Saturn V, and Ace Eagles. So another win, Ephra, and a 3-2 designs. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I've never seen the Saturn V design. That's pretty cool. I like that. And I just love the Ghost Army design. What is that? The first Fresh Colorway they released like a month ago. Like the orange one with the 19 should have been 44.
Yeah.
I ordered that one and they sent me an email saying they were out of stock. So I was pretty upset about that. So anytime I see one come out, I'm like, I need to grab that.
Yeah, it's a rad design. Like at first, it doesn't appear to be outwardly American, but it is based on that military unit. I just received my makeup pin for it.
Oh yeah,
so the
nice.
Pin that goes on the patch to kind of cover their mistake, which is freaking awesome. That they did that. But yeah, these are solid. The Saturn V is like the most American, quote unquote, of these ones, but yeah.
But I was saying Ace Eagles was pretty tight too.
Yeah, I have the original one. I think it was like an olive-ish and brown kind of color.
Okay, oh nice.
Real smooth design there. All right, moving forward.
Go U.S.A, man.
Go U.S.A. Last call. So these 6 designs are up for pre-order until midnight tonight, until we send them, until they send them into production after midnight. So we got Diamond Kong, Morning Pals, and Zombie. What are your thoughts on these 3?
They're all bangers. I had to get Zombie. That's so sick. Josh is one of my favorite designers too. So, Diamond Kong, dude. It'd be cool if they use like a metallic blue and silver in there somewhere, just to give some kind of like dimension to it. And Morning Pals is just classic, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Josh kills that kind of like dead, gory kind of cartoon style. Like, he's kind of built his niche on that. That's a solid one. Diamond Kong would be cool if they turn that like that kind of baby blue teal color to like a metallic blue gray potentially, and just
because it kind of looks like the swatch in the swatch file, that kind of metallic blue, and like the lighter gray kind of looks like that. So who knows?
Yeah,
either way it's gonna be tight.
And if they just make it textured so you could like kind of feel the skull out of it, that'd be cool. And Morning Pals reminds me of like those old like 1940s kind of like commercial things, and cartoon style. Like it's just real rad. All right, and then we got yours in the middle with Taylor, Incoming Call by Milos, and Beset by Sierra Gons. What are your thoughts here?
I was looking at the pre-orders today, and I was like, I'm surprised Bastet is not higher on the list, because it got such a really great reception, such a badass design. And Incoming Call is really tight. I just like the light play on that. It's really cool, really ominous, you know. And Setsumon's just trash. No, I'm just kidding.
I like how they did that one.
No, I love that one. I like how they did it. It's great. I think they changed it from like I think originally we had a stone crown, but I think I like the chrome better. Looking back at it, so yeah, I'm excited to see it, man. I'm just so happy to get my first one through, and it's Taylor's first as well, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Two guys just popping cherries. So that's awesome. Incoming Calls. I made a comment when I think this was first in Critz that it almost felt like a part 2 of his Great Expanse hat, kind of like that on the car looking up into the moon, and then this is like
his dad
wanting to call. I just thought it was like a cool cool potential two parters. He commented like, "Thank you, wasn't my intention," but he can't see it, so
No,
unintentional.
I like stuff like that where it could be like a story continuation between designs. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm with you, man. But Bastet, can't pronounce it, but I can see that it's a cool, a badass design. Like he's got that kind of this. It's not Siamese cat. It's what are these freaking cats called? These hairless freaking cats. Well, either way,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's just badass. There's so much personality to it. The Eye of Horus is kind of hidden on the background. Well, not hidden, but like placed on the back two pieces there. It's just a really balanced and well thought out design. I think this is order crazy.
That's what I was gonna say. Like you can just tell, just those the vertical pieces are gonna be like,
yeah.
I guess not too raised because it's kind of thin, but you can see what they're gonna do with it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah, really solid. 6-pack of hats. This is your final warning. These ones will go into production at midnight tonight. So get your pre-orders in. You have a couple hours. And then we had the shock drop. So this occurred, I believe, Thursday night, maybe even Wednesday. I've lost all track of what day it is.
I think it was Wednesday night.
Okay, cool. Yeah. But either way, two classics back. So Dead Presidents. So we saw it in the Go U.S.A. and then you see it more closer to the money color here, and then the Apollos. Any initial thoughts on these two?
I like the colors. You know, I guess the classics, they always keep either a gray or a green UV, right? So I mean, this is nice. I like the bright green in the background of Dead Presidents.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Lime green, action green thing.
Yeah. It's like a yellow in the hair or something. I can't tell. Maybe it's just the light reflection.
Yeah, it does look like either like a Vegas gold or some type of like off-white color.
Yeah. It's nice. Apollo's is cool. I like the little play with the red in the design too to bounce off the crown. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. I feel like that one's like a good one to wear with like Jordans. You know, you can, it's like black, red, gray. You can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong with bread.
Yeah, space theme. You kind of think of Space Jam a little bit. So yeah, this is a good little two-piece hat drop. I do like a gray and a green. So in terms of the undervisor, that's a little kind of how I like my hats to come. But yeah, good little drop there. All right, we'll start off with this Critz number 1. I didn't mean to put this number 1, but yeah, here you go. Talk about it.
Nice. Yeah, this was a fun one, man. Yeah, Big Red just came to me and was like, "Hey, let's do a collab." And he was like, "I have this idea of, you know, when you're like a shoe drop, you're trying to get there like 10 minutes before, get your credit card stuff ready, or a hat drop." So he's like, "I kind of want to do something like that with some kind of bird and a hat, carrying a hat." I was like, what if we introduce like a worm to it? You know, early bird catches a worm. So we threw some sketches back and forth and landed on kind of more of like a cartoony version of it, and just ended here, man. It's fun to do.
Nice. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Twitter logo. A little bit. The colorway is real cool.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, the colorway is real cool. It reminds me of the Blue Jays when they wear the baby blue jerseys. They have that kind of navy and kind of skyish color. Yeah. No, it's a cool theme. One of my first Clink hats, we did. I did it with Tony. He owns the Capologist with me. We did one called Bot Pirates, and at the time, it was all about the hats, and hats dropping were crazy. Like people couldn't get them, and there was like this ongoing joke that it just got scooped by like a bot. So,
gotcha. Yeah.
So we did this like Bot Pirates thing. So it was like a pirate on a shopping cart, kind of just like pointing this way to like steal your.
Yeah. Did that get made?
Yeah, it got made.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. I need to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
definitely would love a recolor of that one. But yeah, it was
yeah.
early Clink. We're talking
Yeah.
like 2020, 2021, whatever. But yeah, this kind of reminds me of that, which is cool.
I got you. Maybe a little recolor.
Yeah.
Watching.
Yeah. So that's cool. I like this one.
Awesome, man.
It's kind of like a part 2 to Bot Pirates a little bit. All right. Echo in the Wild. Win Studio. What are your thoughts?
Figure this one will get a chance. I'm usually not big on like basic scenery things, but like when you incorporate it into like the face of something that would live in that scene, I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the wolf in there as well doing the howl.
Yeah.
This is a really cool one. I'm not sure how I feel about the green border per se. I'm not sure what I would change it with in the green UV. That's like a green UV, right?
It looks like olive. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Might change that. Otherwise, it's pretty badass, man.
Yeah. I think the art's really good.
Yeah.
My thing is like I just almost wish he went one way or another. I just wish he either did just a badass wolf or just did this complete silhouette of the wolf and not have any of the facial features, and then maybe just make the wolf like howling. You could do the wolf shape as howling, and then just have really show the scene there.
Yeah. Or maybe just less of the facial features, you know?
Yeah. Together it's cool. It's cool. It's just for me, I feel like it's a little too much. But
I can see it getting kind of busy embroidery, but
yeah. Art wise though, the dude can draw, so
yeah, Wynn's always putting out good stuff. So
yeah, this is a clean design for sure. All right. Number 3, Siamese. Heinz got together with Heather. What are you thinking here?
I like the pose, like the kick. I think the size in a weird position. It's like kind of fumbling it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like the lines are kind of thin. Might need to bulk them up and put a border maybe around it.
Mm-hmm.
I like the colors.
Yeah, colors are strong. Feeling kind of like Air Max vibes. Like that kind of teal with the gray black. Yeah, Siamese. It's cool. It's cool. It's yeah, I'm with you. The pose is rad. I just feel like the side needs a little reworking. It's a little
just the whole like that pose needs some work.
Yeah, and it might be too realistic. Like you almost have to give it like almost human hands.
Just something a little more. Yeah, it's kind of hard for like a cat. I guess you could make it work, but
yeah,
it needs more toe beans for sure.
Yeah, but this one's real smooth. Good job, Heather.
Awesome. Yeah,
and Breath of Death, Ryan Simmons animation. Are you into House of Dragon at all? Have you watched that?
Yeah, I mean, my wife and I watch it. We haven't finished it, but definitely into it.
Okay. Yeah, this is giving me Dracarys, Soaring of the Seeds vibes. So, this one's cool. I don't love the shape of the neck.
It's coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I like the side profile view of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more of like a diagonally head on kind of view. I love the fire. Like
the fire's rad.
Yeah, it's sick. His artwork is so tight though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just seems like I don't know. The side profile just kind of throw me off a little bit.
Yeah, and the lighting's real cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ryan Simmons usually real smooth artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you got something here with the fire. I'm with you. Maybe change the positioning of the dragon, maybe the profile. Yeah. It's right there though. This is all right. Exhumed King by Josh. going to more realistic stuff. I don't really see him do a lot of realistic stuff that often. I don't think, at least, but
no, I mean, kind of like the one he had last week on Critz, the skull and the worms coming out. It's kind of got like similar vibes to it. Yeah, this one's cool, man.
Yeah, that's right. The worm one.
Yeah.
Yeah, spending a lot of time in the dirt and the skulls. I like it. The fossils, and yeah, this is pretty rad. So
yeah, not sure
anyone who likes the paleontology stuff and archaeology, good piece here. But Exhumed King. All right.
Nice. Congrats, Josh.
Casa Abaque, Sirgons, and Godfrey. I have no idea what Casa Abaque is, so I'm gonna research that while you give me your initial thoughts. What do you think of this one?
I saw this when he originally submitted it. I was like, "What the hell is that?" Like, it's very interesting. Like, you want to know what it is. I think it's an umbrella, some kind of ghost that comes back as. I'm not even gonna try to.
All right, so old Japanese or Casa Abaque, mythical ghost or yokai in Japanese folklore. Sometimes they're not always considered a tosokumagami that umbrellas turn into. They're also called Karaska Obake or Kasabake or Karaska Kozo.
Okay.
Generally, umbrellas with one eye that jump around with one leg, sometimes 2 arms and 2 eyes. They're sometimes depicted to have a long tongue and sometimes, but rarely, have 2 feet. Okay.
So, I think you nailed it.
Considering all that.
Yeah, definitely a concept that's never been done.
Yeah, definitely a new character in the realm.
That's what I love about that, man. Just go all out, man. Go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. Maybe a little separation from the background in the character, like a lighter border around the character. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of rad.
It's crazy looking, dude.
Yeah. I almost feel like weirdly that because his foot is so sideways that the body needs to be turned a little bit. Just add a little turn to the body to make it looking like that. But yeah, it's just something I have no idea about. I still don't understand what it is, but that's not his fault.
No, that's it's cool concept. You know, I just never heard of an umbrella coming back as a ghost character.
Yeah.
Cool though. Yeah, like maybe rotate the body or the foot. So he's more like standing, the foot's facing you more and bent. I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm with you.
And you wouldn't be able to see the little Japanese shoe that he's got on.
Yeah, the little clog thing. Yeah.
Yeah, clogs.
That's awesome.
But
yeah, I mean, I'm into it, man. Sierra makes a bunch of Egyptian stuff, a bunch of Mezzo stuff, a bunch of like Mayan, Aztec, and tackle Japanese. I'm for it. I'm all for it. Good job.
Maybe you can continue the lighter red around the bottom of the character because, like, from far away, it kind of muddies, blends into much dark red.
Yeah,
that's a cool design though. Sierra's always putting out cool stuff.
Hell yeah! I'd be curious to see if it wasn't so symmetrical and just maybe throw the background like off center it a little bit just to see.
Oh yeah,
like you're talking about, just to get it to have more kind of separation.
Yeah.
But I think this one's rad for sure. All right. Moving forward. Fluff and Fold, Seamus. What are your thoughts here?
Never seen this one before. Looks like a 3D animation.
Yeah. Like a AutoCAD or something, like right from the computer.
It's definitely interesting.
I like this thing.
Yes, I mean he does a lot of the origami type stuff and folded stuff. So
yeah, definitely. He mentioned off to the side to me that this took him like 2 weeks to fold it. So instead of using a reference photo, he's been messing around with actual origami and then using that as his reference material Yeah, this one's rad, man. I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah,
I feel like it's too diagonal though. I need to change something up there.
Yeah. It's a sneaky two-tone too, so two different tones of green, and then a gray bottom, which I'll always love. So, yeah, I'm with this one.
Nice colorway.
Fluff and Fold. Continuing his llama series, Seamus the Skunk. All right, moving forward. Oh, Zombie Kong. This one's rad. Yeah. What are your thoughts here?
I love the purple in it, dude. I'm always attracted to like strategic purple in designs or purple crowns. So
right,
that's tight how it's kind of like, I'm not sure if this is like goo or like cobwebby stuff between the stakes. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, really cool, man. I like how the skull's kind of coming out of the Kong. Yeah, it's really well done, man.
And he kind of changed it too from the original, so it's got the same kind of silhouette. But then the parts where it's the gorilla part, he didn't just like fade away the existing one. He kind of redrew it in his own kind of style, which is cool. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I hope it's gonna get fun. Yeah, I know some people have Kong fatigue, but this one's cool to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like, this might be the one thing I don't get really too fatigued of if it's done differently, you know. So
yeah, and that's the brand's mascot. So like,
yeah,
I like seeing different artists doing their own rendition.
Yeah,
of the same kind of motif. All right, Ethereal by Wins Back with the Zombie Geisha. What do you think?
It's not bad. I like the colors. I feel like the hands, they're like really fine.
Mm-hmm. The double sword is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like that, the one that she's holding with her left hand on the right side should just be the sheath, and you can kind of get away with that.
Yeah, I feel like the handle's super long too. I'm not sure how they're supposed to look, but
yeah, handle super long, and then she's holding it like kind of backwards.
Yeah,
that's like a two-handed sword you would really use potentially. Yeah, I mean this has the bones, but I think it just needs a couple things buttoned up on the execution to kind of take it to the next level.
Maybe something different with that background circle too. It's just kind of a couple whatever those are, speed lines or whatever.
Yeah, reverse speed lines almost.
Yeah. But it's cool. I mean, his artwork's always interesting to look at. So
it does well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does well. All right, moving forward. Forest Ranger, Brad Racing. Kind of like a Yeti, Smokey the Bear type logo.
Yeah.
Brad Racing from Down Under.
Yeah, I saw when he posted this. Did he post a second version of this? This one looks different.
He might have. I can look it up.
Yeah, because I feel like I love the design. It's really cool. Colors are badass. I feel like the dimple on his mouth was different.
So this was his latest post, the one we see. I don't see another one.
Okay, no worries.
Brad Racing. Solid artist. All right. Moving forward. Dusk to Dawn, Point X Go. We got the bear versus the wolf. What do you think?
It's really cool. At first, I was kind of trying to figure out what's going on with the night turning into day, but it's kind of like, you know, spinning effect, rotating. Mm-hmm. That was really well done. I like this. Like I said, I'm usually not into like just basic scenery. So, but this one adds a little touch to the, you know, dusk to dawn. You know, I think it's going to do well too.
I almost wish like the front part of it would come out of the circle a little bit and just bleed out, and it would give you like a little bit of like either like a almost like a water drip or whatever, just to kind of break that barrier. So it's not just a circle holding it all in.
Yeah.
Kind of break that fourth wall almost.
Yeah, I'm always a fan of coming out of the border. So like you said, some orange and yellow and purple dripping out of there. That'd be really tight. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, good one.
Yeah, really well done.
His first hat, I believe, ships very soon. So either within the next month or two. But yeah. And that one kind of is like a play on that. It's like a black-white version, kind of this kind of like scenescape. So
yeah.
Good to see that he's back. So all right, good job, Point X. Canada Treasure, Matt Bells and Whistles, showing off Canada's various national animals. So we got a loon, a moose, and a beaver.
Yeah.
All ready to go Terminator mode on the Canadian people.
What
are your thoughts here?
I like it, dude. I love the colorway with UV and the button match. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not Canadian or anything, but I would probably buy this. Yeah, the Terminator eyes they're interesting. I don't get it, but they're badass. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
A little color break, a little pop of red against the blues.
Yeah, that beaver is looking mighty bear-like. He's ready to kill something.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the loon is red. I'd almost think this could work better if they were more kind of entangled a little bit. Maybe have the loon in the antler area. Maybe have the beaver out in front of the moose, maybe just to kind of get more of them, or maybe riding on the back. Something like
definitely.
that.
Yeah, it's definitely too stretched out, but the concept's right there. Like, and maybe a little color break from the crown because they kind of blend in.
Yeah. But it's definitely cool art. Good job, Matt. All right. Graphite Grind. I think this is a little bit more cleaned up version of Seamus's and Gemini triplets submission for a couple weeks ago. This looks a little bit more cleaner. So what are your thoughts on this 2.0?
I don't see much of his submissions at all anymore, but I like this version better. It's more, I think the jagged erasers in the last one weren't my favorite, and then the black on the chew marks. So the chew marks a little more subtle this time. It's decent. It's nice.
Yeah, I believe I saw Tim post the inspo behind this was the gum bottoms, and then the ones I forget the name of it, but it was like two band-aids.
Band-aids, yeah.
It was the 1.0s that they brought back. So I like designs like this. They're symmetrical. They're big and bold.
No, the yellow pops off that purple crown.
Yeah.
So
be curious to see this one if it makes it or not. So Graphite Grind. Ooh, Skinwalkers.
Heather.
Dick and Heather got together for this creepy crawly thing. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, it's definitely creepy, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the story is behind it, but the imagery is pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
The purple and black in front of I guess that's a moon.
Or a portal, maybe.
Portal, yeah.
Walking out of a portal, ready to get you. This is a pretty cool piece. The color play is real interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm in love with the colorway, but yeah, it's definitely striking. Not something you usually see in a Clink submission, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the details of the hair are crazy too. Like you see it coming off like the knee portion, and then kind of at the lower portion. Yeah, this is a really creepy piece here. Good work. 15 Dagger Moth.
Nice.
14 Ancient Creatures got together. What are you thinking here?
This is cool. I think Creature showed me his concept of this. I was like, that totally looks like a 14A design.
Yeah.
And I think 2 days later they posted this. It was great. It's perfect for his style though.
Yeah.
14As. Yeah, it's pretty rad, dude. Especially on that Vegas Vegas crown.
I've seen them kind of use like Vegas crowns on these tattoo designs, kind of use it as like a negative space or like what it would look like on skin almost. I think that's like a cool kind of trick.
Yeah.
I worry though that the dagger isn't different enough from the wings that kind of gets lost a little bit. And then you might have some scaling issues. The dagger being almost so like it almost gets like you get the perceived notion that it's so small compared to like the wings almost. So those are two things that I would kind of play with.
Yeah, I can see that. Maybe making the blade bigger. Maybe put some like shine lines with the white.
Yeah. I mean, one way you can kind of cheat and do that, I mean, you're going to lose the symmetry of it, but you can kind of tilt it. Maybe tilt it this way, that way. So you're kind of like looking at it on a table almost.
Yeah.
But you would lose a lot of the kind of symmetry and balance you have in it. But it's a cool piece for sure. All right. Number 16, the Merlins. Heather and Preacher got together to do this one. What are your thoughts here?
I think it's tight. Maybe not as many stars. There's a lot of them going on.
Yeah.
I think this is like, have they done this a few times? I think it's like their 3 photo on this.
I believe so. This one is like hyper realistic. It's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of has a feeling of like almost like a wind design, how it's kind of wispy.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of whispery. I'm with you though. A little bit too many stars potentially. There's a lot of stars in his hat too that kind of get lost.
Yeah.
Art wise though, it's rad.
No, it's tight. Yeah, you might just need to simplify it a little bit. Less stars, bigger stars, and maybe less jagged lines in the owl's feathers, maybe.
Yeah, I think
it's cool,
like a falcon almost.
Yeah.
But, I almost wish, there was more kind of plumage kind of showing through. Maybe have less feathers, but just bigger ones, maybe potentially. Yeah. But this one's cool. Yeah, cool little piece. All right. Moving forward, Sky Dragons. Sky Dragon, sorry, by Magnus. Getting a lot of dragons this week, so that's cool. Year of the Dragon too, right? So this makes sense. Yep. What are your thoughts here?
I like the clouds. They're done well. Yeah, it's cool. It's a dragon. His artwork's always really, really badass.
Yeah. Dragons are tough because of the anatomy.
Yeah.
It's almost like hard to like freehand draw them. You don't do them that often.
Yeah.
I feel like the dragon is missing some limbs almost, and then kind of how it kind of cocks back and has this head there is a little bit awkward. You almost want it either just, it almost feels a little stiff, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool piece. Kind of a little awkwardness on how it kind of bends a little bit, but
behind the head.
Not even the head part. Yeah, feels a little stiff, but then even like the first turn and then the first big turn is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The turn kind of below his snout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe just kind of twist it a little bit.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. You almost want to like look at snakes and kind of how they fold and and kind of where the belly stays and stuff.
Yeah. No, it's right there. It just needs a little more fluidity. Maybe it'll do well in Critz and they can change it later on. But yes, I like the colors. It's really tight.
Yeah. And I think the head a little bit, when you start looking at if you isolate just the jaw and don't look at anything else, you can see kind of where it needs to be smoothed out a little bit. And just take a little bit more care with the head and the head placement. Because right now, this thing's the main feature, the main focal point is gonna be the head of the dragon. So you got to make sure you knock that part out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool piece. Good job, Magnus. Number 8, Morbid Munchies. Another one of Heather's. I think this is like Heather's 4th or 5th one. So she's all over this Critz today. So
it's Heather week.
Yeah, Heather week.
Nice.
What do you think here?
I think it's a cool concept. I like the skulls as popcorn, but I think like maybe having the box just be a character, like eyes and a mouth and 2 arms, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe grabbing a skull and like something, a little more action.
Yeah.
Because it looks like she just grabbed one of the smaller skulls and just enlarged it onto the body.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that.
Yeah. Morbid munchies. All right.
That's funny though.
Good job, Heather.
That's like her 4th one, right?
I think so. So she's got 1, 2, 3. She had one earlier for sure, I think. 4.
Nice. Congrats,
Yeah.
man. Awesome.
Yeah. Good job, Heather. Putting in the pain.
Yup.
All right. Boo Bear. Picks by Pat. I don't think I've recognized this clinker.
I think he's fairly new. I'm not sure. I follow him a little bit. I commented on this one. This one's really cool.
Yeah.
I think he said he submitted this like a year ago. It was like a different version. Updated. It's cool. I like the mint and then the black. It's a good combo.
Yeah, like Tiffany Dunks.
Yeah.
I got that Tiffany blue color. Yeah.
But I know he's in like a kind of like a spook stance, but it looks like his hands want to hold like, I think I commented like maybe a hockey stick or something just to give a little sporty feel to it. Not sure if you'll lose the ghost aspect though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find what to do with the hands. Maybe have one more, so instead of just like down here, maybe have one up, or and just I think like if you're gonna name it Boo Bear, just have it almost look like it's mouthing the word boo, maybe instead of like this is more like bear.
Yeah.
But this is a pretty cool piece. If he submitted it a year ago, it's cool that they're finally getting the recognition now. So
this is version 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats to Pat, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, good work, Pat. All right, Bandits. We're finishing off strong. Ink Park with the Siberian Husky. I believe he owns 2 Huskies, if not 1.
Nice.
So yeah, kind of a shout out to his Husky there in Ink Park. I feel like the logo might be a hair low on the hat, but yeah. What do you think of it?
I feel like it's more simple than his other designs, but then that's a good idea because then you can let Casey or whoever do some magic with the embroidery. It's cool. I like the mixture of gold, blues, and then like a maroon crown. It's really nice.
Yeah. He had the other Bandit up a couple weeks ago with the Pandits. Yeah, the Pandits. Now it's the Bandits. So I feel like there's a like it is like a simplified kind of toned down version. I feel like the Ninja Turtle kind of bandanas.
Yeah.
Kind of like I don't know. I don't know if I love it. And then I feel like he's missing his mouth a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing this a little more animated, but I like how he's going for the simple look to this, though.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how the blue kind of stops right here. It doesn't continue around. Yeah,
there's no real texture to it either. It's a cool concept.
Yeah.
It just needs to be fleshed out a little bit. But I'm with you though. The colorway's badass. Like that maroon burgundy with that gold always works well, and then that kind of pop-up blue. Did a good job.
Yeah.
But all right, Zach. We made it through. Appreciate you coming by and joining me and doing this episode.
Of course, man. I appreciate you having me. It's an honor, honestly.
Anytime. Welcome back anytime. But where can people kind of connect with you and find your work?
Just Instagram, my page, Soundwave Threads. I'm basically on there every day, all day. So, yeah.
All right. Make sure you guys give Zach a follow. It's been an honor to have you on the show. And
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No problem. Zach and Leon, we out of here.
Later.
Peace.
no sense.